This is another team I wanted to talk about because they went to overtime with the Cavaliers last night. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell wasn't playing, but the Portland Trailblazers have been doing pretty well. And as I said at the start of the show, they're just one game behind the Phoenix Suns in the standings. And if you had said that at the start of the season, I don't think there's anyone on earth who would have believed you because a lot of people predicted the Trailblazers to be at the very bottom, and a lot of people expected the Suns to be somewhat competitive. But what have you seen from the Portland Trailblazers? BJ, you love the seven footers. You must be loving what you see from Donovan Clingan out there for the
Hmm.
Trailblazers.
Hmm. Well, they have a lot of young talent. Okay. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. It's the kid from Washington, Avid. How do you pronounce his name? The kid,
Deni Avdija.
yes,
I-
Avi.
Mhm.
He has really blossomed there. I don't know what I kind of briefly watched that game last night. Looked like he was playing well in that game. Klingum, I thought that was a terrific pick in the draft. Aiton, you guys know, the 7 footers. This kid Sharp, Simons, and others that are there.
I think
Um,
Kamara as well, who was traded by the Phoenix Suns as part of the DeAndre Ayton deal, has become one of the most impactful defenders in the entire NBA, and
yeah,
he's starting games for them.
so they have rotational players. Okay, so you could see what they're doing. They're putting together quality athletes, capable players, rotational players at the very least. And now all of a sudden you're seeing these young people blossom under Chauncey Billups. Chauncey has really kind of found his niche. He's found his voice. And it takes time. Well, since he's gotten the job. So I want to give, Coach Billups credit and now what they're doing there. And now they are beginning to compete. Okay. When you see teams start to compete on the road, like they did last night versus, arguably the best team in the league, you're starting to say, okay, we're moving, we're trending in the right direction. So I like this team. I like what the Portland Trail Blazers are doing. I like how they're playing. They're playing the right way. And right now, you're saying possibly, you look at the Pistons, just a year ago now, they were on a 28 game losing streak. And all of a sudden now the Pistons turn it around. What this could be. So the big offseason the commitment or big offseason decision they have to make is which one of these guys are they going to retain? Because now they have the ability now to really build, but who are they going to build around? And they have a lot of options. So, good for the Portland Trailblazers. They've had some tough years since Damian Lillard has gone or should left. At least they haven't, been in the playoffs. But now they're trending now, and I like what I see. I like where they're going, and they could have very easily won that game last night, and that says a lot about where the organization has gone just from a year ago, and that's a big. You're beginning to be competitive, and when you see your team begin to be competitive on the road, that means you now have a team that I dare say, Scotty, they're professional. They're beginning to play at a professional level. And that to me is very, very positive.
And let me just add a little bit to this Portland Trailblazers group. And obviously, I'm going to focus on Chauncey Billups, who I've known since he was 16 years old, recruited the young man when he was an outstanding high school player coming out of Denver, Colorado. And Chauncey, even back then, had a lot of what I would call just natural leadership skills about him. And then you fast forward, very successful collegiate career, very high draft pick, and boy, then he hits a real obstacle and adversity when he gets drafted by Boston. Wasn't a fit for him, and then now he bounces around the league for uh, five different places till he gets to his sixth team, being the Detroit Pistons, and then boom, Hall of Fame career. I mention all that because I really believe that has helped shaped his coaching and the way he can message a number of these players. He's been a top guy, so he can talk to your star players, and he's been that guy that maybe was questioning going home some nights after he was his fourth or fifth team, saying, "Okay, am I going to be able to stick in the league?" And he fought through all that. He continued to get better, develop himself, and I just think when you have someone who's persevered that way and is bringing that type of experience and along with his natural leadership ability, you see that starting to really resonate with this ball club, particularly a younger ball club. And I just hope that he continues to be able to see this thing through, because I think he's going to, I feel strongly that Chauncey, and I'm not just saying that because of my personal relationship, I really do feel strongly that Chauncey has an opportunity, a chance to become one of the better coaches in this league if he's, as long as you continue to allow him to grow, give him some more talent. Because BJ said a key word. They have some very good rotational talent on that team right now. A couple of guys that are, probably starters. They don't have the high-end talent that some of the other teams in the Western Conference have to this point. But that's not deterring him from going out there and getting this team to believe that they can win if they execute, play tough, defend, things that we're starting to see this ball club do.
Yeah, well, they will be receiving a top 14 draft pick. They'll be getting a lottery pick in the draft this year to kind of add to that stockpile of talent with some very exciting players in the NBA draft. And you never know how that draft lottery is going to go. Do you see any star potential with perhaps a Donovan Clingan or even a Scoot Henderson who's started to find his feet in the league as of late?
Obviously, I think I see Donovan Clingan as a very good starting center in this league because he has the size, he has the ability to protect the rim, things that we know to be very important in today's game.
He's sneaky good passer as well.
Yeah, and he passes the ball. Still developing as an offensive player. A lot of teams don't play through the low post with a true back-to-basket player, but I believe they will continue to work on that with him, even if he can just develop one or two moves in that low post. That will come in handy, in particular, come playoff time. So I really like him. He's a building block for that team. I like that. Scoot Henderson is still a work in progress, in my opinion. He's, I know he came from that G League Ignite, very athletic. But as BJ can tell you, because he played the position for over a decade in the NBA, it's just like an NFL quarterback. Being a point guard, that's the toughest position to grow into and adapt to at that level. Because not only do you have to know and understand the intricacies of your position, of the point guard position, and what you have to do to be successful playing that position, but you got to understand all the other four positions on the court as well too, and how to make people better and how to be able to lead from that position. And again, I may be sounding a little old school because that was the expectation for every point guard that stepped on the floor, that you were the leader of the team, you were leader of the offense and defense. So that, I believe, is still very much a work in progress for a guy like Scoot Henderson. He has a lot of physical tools, but he's got to continue picking up the nuance of the position and gaining the confidence of those around him, that not only can he go get his own, but can he make guys around him better? And I think that's going to be the big thing that I got to watch with him moving forward.